doing things the way I would do things before, activate the law of attractions. People were not saying, wow, this guy actually genuinely cares about us. Before I had to look at my face where I didn't really care or wanted to be bothered with what they were saying because the attraction was that way. But I noticed a huge shift in business, personally, family, just when I catch myself doing that and say, you know, you get to be this guy who gets to speak with this person right now, to be grateful for that moment and notice the difference in their life and yours.
Mindset. He said, mindset of I get to do this. That's how he ended. Thank you, Elise, for that. So let's clap it up one more time for me. Okay, cool. So we'll just go ahead and continue on that. So guys, thank you for the recap. That's the recap. And the key here is, honestly, guys, it is about connecting. Like, that's it. Whether you want to be a leader, in order to do anything, you gotta influence, right? You gotta influence people. People have to feel like you actually care about what you're talking about, care about them, and you make it about them, right? That's what it's all about. So connecting is the name of the game. And so now we're gonna build on that, right? And then we're gonna talk about what we're talking about this week. You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, I guess I'll pass it on you. All right, guys, give it up.
Okay, so if we were to title this week, it would be scheduling your business. Okay? So scheduling your business. Real quick, who here is self-employed? Cool. So who here is a member of Herbalife? I'm gonna ask that one more time. Who here is a member of Herbalife? So who here is self-employed? You guys get what I'm saying? Oh, okay. So awesome. I saw everyone was good. So yeah. So for me personally, before Herbalife, I've been employed my entire life, right? So whether it was working for my parents, lifeguarding, bartending, ballet, like just random jobs, right? Like trainer, it's always on someone else's terms. It wasn't until Herbalife that I ever had my first opportunity to be self-employed. And so this is completely new. Still is. It's a new experience. It's an amazing experience, and it's something that we really need to take advantage of. The day we all became members is the day we really said yes to the opportunity to have control of our lives. Would you guys agree? Yeah. And with an opportunity like Herbalife, though, comes a lot of responsibility. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah. And responsibility doesn't always have to be a team, coach, clients. Responsibility starts with ourselves. And that's something that we want to touch on, especially in Diamond Academy, as we learn to take ownership of our business, really do whatever it takes to take business to the next level. So hopefully the next 40 minutes, the next 7 weeks, whatever, can really help provide clarity for that and get people excited about really taking ownership of their business. Cool? So there's a couple key points that I realized were a part of this mindset shift from going from employee to CEO. Okay, so I'm going to share them with you guys, and I'd love for you guys to take notes too. So the first one is there is no security. Okay, there is no security. Essentially, you are responsible for your own future. Okay, and that's the truth. Your business could be flying and could tank, everyone could fall off, or it could just be going. I mean, there is no security. Okay, I am responsible for my own future. Second one, no one owes me anything. Okay, your mentor did their job. They shared the opportunity with you, got you in the business. Whether or not they're a good mentor, a bad mentor, it doesn't matter. Okay, they gave you this gift, this opportunity. It's up to you. Okay, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, right? Third one, success, impact, income. You know, it's out there somewhere. I must go get it. Okay, it's out there. Okay, and four, I will learn whatever it is I need to know. I'll learn whatever it is I need to know. Okay, also known as figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. And figure out doesn't mean no one helped me, I got it, I'm good. You know, it's guys, take advantage of the people that came before us, the mentors, the networking, trainings, whatever. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity, and then there's this other side of it that's called the training structure that really sets us up for success. Really figure out, and we're going to go over that in the next few minutes, but really figure out what works for you, what you're excited about, what you need help with, and make a schedule that fits into your existing schedule. And those are the people that really hit the ground running. Okay. The next one is there will be problems. Okay. When you show up for work, there's problems, but usually you can kind of slide out and go home and kind of leave stuff at work and do things not your job, right? You don't pay the rent, whatever. In Herbalife, there will be problems, and they're your problems. Okay, you really have to take them. I mean, they're not leaving; they're there. So that goes with it will be good and bad. 8, focus on what matters. Okay, this one was huge for me. Still is. 6.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't stress. I'm sorry. I'm not good. Huh? Focus on what matters, right? Things that are important. Spend most of your time with that. Start establishing priorities. There's this term I love. It's stop majoring in the minors.
Ooh.
Okay. So the minors being the things that don't matter. People hating on you, people not showing up, people, whatever. Okay. Don't worry about that stuff. Focus on the things you can control, the things that are important. Your results, your mindset, personal development. Everyone here does a great job of that. Focus on what is going to help you get to where you want to go. Okay, and then the last one is never quit. Never, ever quit. So everyone say, I won't quit.
I won't quit.
I won't quit.
I won't quit.
All right, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to kind of share our stories and kind of walk you guys through where we were through our journey. Okay, obviously, we're me and Val, myself and Val, we're both full time now, but it hasn't always been like that. I know everyone here knows our stories, but I'd love to kind of share. I think pretty cool if we shared our stories, especially how we started, because we were friends before Herbalife, and hopefully that can give you guys a little bit of direction as far as structure. For example, if you're a new member, the things that you can do around your job. If you're in that kind of like part-time working, part-time Herbalife, what you guys can do, let's say, on the drive home, what we were doing to build our business, and eventually what it took for us to go full-time. So you guys excited about that?
Yeah.
And just to add what he's saying, the reason why, because you guys have heard our stories pretty much, but the reason why we're going to share it in a way that is specific to what we're talking about, to time management and to really utilizing your time to build your business, right? Because he's going to go into it. He worked as a physical therapist. I worked as a registered nurse. I was working 50 hours a week, and I hit millionaire team. So you guys got to understand that, but in that, it's because of how I use my time in between being off. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's the angle where we're going to be sharing our story, and that's why it's like, listen from that lens. Listen from how in your life, you got time off. You don't work 24/7. And so for those hours you don't work, what are you really, really doing with your time? And that's going to determine whether you move up the market plan, whether you get more clients, whether you build new team members, and that's why we're showing our story. You guys got that? Cool?
Yeah.
All right.
You want to go first because you started first.
Okay, cool. So I'll just spend a few minutes on that. And what I'm going to say is this, okay? So I just remember this. I started 3 years ago, and I had just started a new job, a new second job. 3 months prior to that, I was fired from my first job. Reasons, I don't know. They just told me, you're smart, this and that, but you're just not a good fit for this unit. I was like, oh, okay, that's strange. So I was like, okay, I've never heard that before.
You didn't do anything wrong.
I actually didn't do anything wrong. Yeah.
Everyone's like, why did you get fired? It wasn't inappropriate. Like,
right.
They straight just made it.
Yeah. So anyways, well, that happened in order for us to find this, right? Things happen for a reason. But what happened was, okay, I started, and then I started working. So I started working a second job. It was critical care transport. So I did a lot of ambulance work. So you guys see those sirens around the ambulance? I was in the back of that, like 48-hour shifts. So let's say on Monday, for example, I would pick up medical equipment. So I'd have these 3 big old bags. Like one bag was IV kits. One bag is like heart stuff, just in case somebody just like dropped dead in front of me, right? One bag is like the defibrillator where you see that the people in the hospital clear, so I had one of those. So every Monday at 8 a.m., I pick it up from in Los Alamitos. How many of you know where that is? That's like almost OC, right? So I go from Brentwood, because we were living together, or we weren't yet, but eventually we were. So I go from there and pick it up. So then I would start to get calls. So when I get a call, what happens is, hey, Val, they gave me a pager type of thing, and I also have my phone. So they page and then they call me and say, Val, we need you at Keck University Hospital. So I go to the USC hospital. I drive my car over there. I go inside, go up to the patient floor, right? I talk to the doctor, talk to the nurse, get all the stats on them, make sure I check them, all that stuff. All the people will put them in the gurney, you know, those little thin ambulance-looking things, emergency things. Cool. I'd have two people with me, and I'd be in the back just doing paperwork, and I follow them, make sure I connect them to the thing, and have their hearts beating on the monitor. I'm telling you so you guys can paint a picture in your head, right? So then I go downstairs, we go in the elevator, say hi to people, all that stuff, having fun, whatever. So I go downstairs, I'm still watching all the stuff on the monitor at all times. So being present is so important. So I watch that all times. We go downstairs outside into the ambulance. We get into the ambulance and make sure we secure them, all that stuff. I transfer the stuff, put it up in the rig, and then we drive off. So we drive off to another hospital to take them to another ICU. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I did that for multiple hospitals all day, every day. And I was getting calls like that. But I'll say this, there were times where if it's a 48-hour shift, they wouldn't call me for like 2 hours. Or they wouldn't call me for like 1 hour. And then at the time I was living in East LA, Lawrence was living in Brentwood. He had a 1-bedroom apartment. And by the time we hadn't lived together yet, and I would drive all the way there, right? And I'd have a lot of stuff stopping for me at that area. And I'd be like, Lawrence, can I crash at your house? You know what I mean? And he'd go, yeah, sure. And he wasn't doing Herbalife that much at the time. But what I remember is I had to figure things out. So I would crash at his house just to make it to the beach in the morning. But there are times I'll be done at 3, 4 a.m. and I'm not going to call him. I just felt like I couldn't call him. I'm not going to call Laura. Laura lives in Brentwood. I'm like, all right, cool. So what I do is I sleep like a few blocks away from the beach in the back of my car. And I'll have a change of clothes in the back of my car. And then 6:30, I show up for Fit Club, right? And then I like set up, no complaining ever. I don't show up to Fit Club yet. I'm tired. No, none of that. Ever. I'm never complaining. I'm never complaining about how cold it is. When it got cold at the beach in December, never complain about that, right? And I will always have 2, 3 guests. So the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because I want you guys to visualize what it was like to be a registered nurse, a critical care transport registered nurse, and trying to grow an Herbalife team. Okay, so that's what happened for me. But I'm going to tell you what specifically I did. So I knew that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was getting calls for 36 hours. So I'm not going to sit here and try to schedule any type of appointments with people, right? And so what I would do is I would spend my time, anytime I got any time off, I'd be on Facebook, hitting people up, my friends, or I'd be at, I literally take my uniform and go to Culver City Stairs, and I'll go to Culver City Stairs and talk to people. Or all the hospitals, I probably in the 36-hour shift, I'll probably come across 16, 20 hospitals. And so you already know who I'm talking to. All the nurses, all the staff. So I use my environment, right, for this. Yeah, so it'll be sometimes I'll go in the unit right before I'm about to leave with the patient. I go, who's the fittest, like, I'll ask one person, who's the fittest person in here? Who's like the person that's like the healthy person in here? And they'll go like, her. People will be like, oh yeah, she's in the background after she come out. And then I'll talk to her. I say, you love working out? And I start to do advice just like that. And I was getting clients. I probably gotten over 25 EMTs on nutrition plans. You gotta make do with what you have, guys. You guys see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I knew I couldn't schedule appointments. You know those appointments that you do wellness profiles? I couldn't do that because I never know when I'll be like on the go. So what I did was I used those 3 days and I'll do invites like crazy. That's what I would do. But I knew that Thursday I had a day off. And I also knew that Friday, it was kind of sketchy for me because I had a schedule, but I knew that Fridays I wasn't getting calls as much as I could get calls. So what I do is Thursday, I knew for sure I had a day off. Those would be my appointments. So every single person I did an invitation to, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I employed myself. So I knew that from 12 all the way to 5, I was scheduled things at the nutrition club. Either at the nutrition club, or I had people come to my house, or I had people come to Starbucks. I had people come to places. But that was my time frame. And literally, for some of you guys who are in here, I know at least used to see me in nutrition club, right? Every Thursday, every Friday afternoon, with back-to-back appointments. So do you guys understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying here is that I understood my schedule, and I made the most out of my schedule. So, and that's the story that I'm telling you guys, and I knew that I wanted to get to Millionaire Team. Actually, I knew that I wanted to make $5,000. I was making $5,000 as a nurse, which is great money, right? And I was like, I don't know. The company I was working for was very new, so I didn't know. And the boss was like acting real funny. He wasn't paying people on time. He's like, "You're gonna pay me? You're gonna pay me on time?" So I used to be on him, so he used to pay me on time. But anyways, I knew that. I was like, I don't know. This boss is kind of sketchy. I don't know what's gonna happen for me. I gotta make a way. I gotta make $5,000 a month. And so you can understand how connected I was to that goal. You guys understand that? So it didn't matter how tired I was. There's no complaining. It didn't matter. And all this, the time that I used every ounce of time to think about Herbalife, to meet with somebody, to be on the phone, to be on Facebook. And that's what I want to teach you guys right now, is employing yourself. How do you figure out your day? Like, you guys know your weeks, and it's time for you to, we're going to spend some time and map it out today. But it's time for you to really look at your schedule. You know your work schedule, sometimes it varies because it varied for me. But you know you got those for sure off days. But what are you doing with those off days? That will make you guys tag team or stuck. Literally. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's what I want to talk about. That was my story, like, in a nutshell. I know I'm a little direct right now, but that's what happened. Just, letting you guys know.
So that was up to, from part-time up until full-time, right? So I think I'm going to share that part of my life too. So what happened was, when Val found Herbalife, I had just graduated from grad school. So essentially 7 years of this hell. And I just gotten my doctorate. I got my doctorate at 22, and I wasn't about to drop a career I hadn't even started to sell shakes, I wasn't gonna do it. And to be honest, and this is my mind to you guys, I'll tell you right now, is in my mind, I was like, I'm making more money than you, right? Like, so like, why would I leave what I'm doing? Like, you haven't made it. You're just really excited about these shakes and your result, which is dope, and I'm happy for you, but it's not for me. You guys get what I'm saying? Yeah. And what happened though was, it took me a year of living with Val and seeing him change, not results-wise, but as a person, his mindset, his goals, his vision change. And I also had to experience life. I just had to experience work, boss, for me to be like, boom. So that was Val started the business almost out of desperation, because you needed, it was like, dude,
I wanted a way out.
Right. And I hadn't even gone into it yet. So whether you're like, dude, I've been in my career for a while and I'm out, or, I don't know. I don't know if this is for me yet. Like, both work. At the end of the day, if it's meant to be, it'll work out. Okay. So what happened was, living with Val. Val was obviously committed. I had so much. I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know if I agreed with it. He was like, dude, you should brand your clothes when you go to the gym. I was like, you should shut up.
And then I was saying, look, you will come back one day and all your clothes branded. That's
my
right.
shoes are it's like, it's so funny. Like, but no, I remember in the hall, you should brand that. Like, just get out of my way. Like, and it's just funny because you don't know. I just didn't know. I was open to it. And I just remember seeing him. He did the whole check thing. Hey, man, you're going to work. I'm to the beach. And I was like, damn it. And then it took me going to Extravaganza for me to, let's go. Let's at least give it a shot. And what I remember is I always saw him. I used to think it was really annoying because all he talked about was Herbalife at home. Then later on, I realized he was working, he was building, he was planting seeds from our freaking living room, right? Like, on the phone, he had these old headphones on, and he'd be making dinner, and he'd be getting clients left and right. And I didn't realize at the time he was actually helping people get healthy. He was creating an impact, building his income, whatever, and he was putting in the work to eventually leave this job that he didn't like. And the whole time I was actually in this job that I liked less and less. My passion quickly realized like my passion wasn't what I wanted to do at all in my life. And the point for me was my family lives in Taiwan, so my mom was turning 50, and I wanted to go home to surprise her for her birthday. So I'd surprised her once for Christmas the year before, and it was like the best feeling ever. Like just like walking in Christmas morning, like, and I literally like I remember I walked in and I just like walked right past her like I'd been there the whole time. I went to the fridge to get food, and she was just like, you know, so like I wanted to recreate that for her 50th birthday, and I said so. You know, at the time I was managing the clinic, I was like, listen, like I haven't had time off this entire year. Like I'd love to take 4 days off and go home, and I'll be back. And instead of saying yes, they actually added patients to my schedule, so I couldn't leave. And this isn't like a pity, because trust me, life's good. Like we're good now, but at the time it was like it wasn't even just like anger. Like I was pissed. I was really pissed, but like it was almost like helplessness. Like I can't even like go home and survive for 50. Like she only gets one, And I remember that feeling. And there's times when like even now, like when I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to do it. Like I think of that. I'm like, it definitely gets me fired up. Obviously I try not to be negative, but like it's something I hang on to because I never want to feel like that ever again. I never want someone to tell me when to go to work, when to go to lunch, whatever, like what to do in my life. Like life is so short. Like this is the prime of our life, guys, And so with that fire though, when I got it, when I caught it, when it clicked, everyone remembers that moment it clicked. For me, that was extravaganza. When it clicked, and that's the power of events, guys. You have to pack people. He told me to go to every event. He tricked me to go to end of month ones. I was bad. I was like, we're supposed to eat. Like, what are we doing? So like it took a lot of work, a lot of patience, and then because he knew it was going to be worth it. It wasn't for Val, it was for me. And so when it clicked, it was just, dude, let's go. And at the time, I was managing a gym in Santa Monica called Iron LA. I was training a lot of high-profile clients. I was making really good money. I wasn't happy. I was waking up at like 5 o'clock, training 1 or 2 people for cash, and then I would drive down to Manhattan Beach. I was Dr. Lawrence from like 7:30 to 7:30 at night. But the way the health field works is you have to document. So, seeing patients is great, but you have to document everything else you guys don't get paid. That's just the business of healthcare. So I'd be there, I'd work 7:30 to 7:30, probably stay till like 9 documenting. So the boss would get paid and then sit home in traffic. Like on top of that, sit on the 405, just BS, and then get home. Sometimes go to the gym, sometimes, just whatever. Just life was whatever. And it's not me. Everyone's going through something like that. Like my life was great compared to a lot of people with family, kids, a lot more responsibilities than I did as a single 20-some-year-old guy. But I just knew that feeling of just being like, that isn't what I want. So my point is, when I saw this though, it was like when it finally took a year and whatever to get it, it was like, let's go. And I just remember all about what we talked about, get results. So like my initial results, like I just gained 8 pounds, right? And the people started noticing, sharing with people, and we just went off. Like to the point where if you guys want to talk about volume, it was over 10,000, 14,000, 16,000 pounds. But this was all retail, you guys. So I got really excited because, they say like, you can tail your way out of anything. And not that we were struggling financially, but like, it was like hope, I was like, oh my God, if one day, it's not there yet, but one day this can be the thing that gets me out of the job that I essentially hated, and this could be the one thing that allows me to go see mom whenever I want, or fly her. And it's just really cool how like it happened really fast because of how much work we put in initially. And then I remember seeing Val leave his job at Getson, and I was like, I gotta get to Getson. So I'm just kind of walk you guys through my daily schedule. Okay, so in the morning it was work in the clinic, but at lunchtime I'd always have an hour for lunch. And initially I hated my job, so I said I would go out and I'd just walk around just to get away from work. But I had an office, I had a desk, so I locked myself in it, and I'd have my own computer, so my Mac or whatever, and I'd just be talking to people. I had my iPad, my phone, and I'd be getting clients at work, And it's funny because they're like, you can't talk to patients, it's conflict of interest, and I was like, all right, fine, but employees were good to go. So I got all my assistants, receptionists, a lot of them healthy, so that was cool. And then just being able to, what little time we had, lunchtime and traffic, guys, I'll never forget. Always having people. Val was always like, dude, make sure you have your schedule set up, right? Like, dude, if you have a window, let's say I knew I'd be in traffic from Manhattan Beach to an hour and a half for you. ridiculous, like an hour and a half to go 5 miles, right? But I'd get clients on the way home, and it was just so like almost fun, like being able to like, dude, I just made $900 riding home, like that, you know, like or $900 today in Herbalife or whatever it is, right? And again, it wasn't specifically to make money, but it was like here's something I was excited about, and we're doing something good as opposed to just like working for somebody, you know. And then the second thing that the shift was, I had to give up weekends. Okay, so dude, I used to love going out, and I still do, but like a lot, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the time, Sunday.
Used to give me a lot.
I go out Tuesday nights, stuff with Tuesday nights. I go out Tuesday nights sometimes. Like I went out a lot, and it was terrible, you know. And the shift though was like when I made that shift though, I had to give up weekends. Guys, name one entrepreneur that like takes time off. Doesn't happen, right? Bill Gates said he never took a day off in his 20s. I mean, I highly doubt he still takes days off, you know, but it's just still going. They're just still going. Never stop. And, you know, Saturdays, training, Sundays, you know, like that's just part of what we do. That's not an option. None of that is an option. Like if you're trying to retire your family, retire your mom, take care of your kids forever, like why are you taking Saturday off? Like if your mom's working, you don't take a day off. It doesn't make sense. If my mom's working, I don't skip Saturday. It doesn't make sense, right? And that was something that I definitely saw from Val, and something that I realized, like, you know, the faster we make this work, the faster we get to leave the job. That's what happened. So in 7 months, Big Get Team, and within a year, replaced what I made as a doctor, which was crazy. And that's when I left my job and decided to go full time. And from then, though, schedule changed to get all this new time. So I don't know if you want to go
About the full-time team?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so how many of you got something from any of these? If you didn't, it's good. But the reason why we share this is just so y'all know, hopefully you guys related to some of this stuff. You know, the fact that we're both working all the time. Like I used to see Lawrence all the time. I would see him in the morning, early in the morning, we'd have conversations while he's like getting ready. He'd be all dressed up in his nice little professional polo, nice slacks, all this stuff. Yeah, he wears stuff like that. Anyways, that's what he would wear. I'd be like, you know, probably waking up from being on call, or I'll be doing, or getting ready to fix something. I'll be doing something, and I wouldn't see him until 11 p.m. And I was like that Monday through Friday. But anyways, just want to show y'all where I'm from, because most of you guys in the room would probably look at Val and be like, Val, man, dang, Val full-time, Val been full-time. No, I got full-time, right? But I had a full-time mindset, and that's what we're going to talk about. There's more we're going to talk about in general, but it's about having a full-time mindset. But it does depend on your goal. Like, so not everybody in here, not everybody here might have had the goal that I had. I said, I'm going to make $5,000 as soon as possible. I'm going to get there. And that's what fueled me, because I was afraid of losing my job again. I didn't know if that would happen to me again. So I found a way, and I was committed. You know, then him is more so out of inspiration and the fact that, you know, he's experienced something. But I want you to know that I got to where I've gotten. He got to where he's gotten because in the nooks and crannies of our day, we took advantage of the time that we had. Okay? And that's what Lawrence did. And so what I want to do also is just bring up just quickly, Brian, if you could share, because this is what I remember. You know, when I came into the business, Brian was world team. You know, and I saw Brian grow into, you know, 20K exec presidency that he is now, right? But when I came to the, he was world team. Brian, just straight hustle, right? And we'd be at Fit Club, and he'd be at every Tuesday and Thursday Fit Club. And for those of you who know 20K executive presidency style Bell, he would always pick him up from his house, and I'd see them on Tuesday, Thursday Fit Clubs. So that's what always happened. But there's one thing I knew about it. I was talking to him. I was like, dude, what's your day look like? I asked him back then. He says, and he's going to tell you more so, but he told me that, and that's when I knew, oh, I see what he's doing. He's putting himself on a schedule, right? He's putting himself on a schedule, and he follows that schedule no matter what. And it's no wonder where he's at. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you guys would have the honor, right, of really just opening yourselves up just so he can share his story a little bit about that specifically, please, guys, 20K Executive President's Team.
Yeah.
Val said, you know, I came in, I was a world team member. I had a set schedule pretty much every day of the week. I was pretty much working 6-7 days a week because I knew my goal was to retire my mom. So I would wake up around 6 a.m. every morning, same routine, walk my dog, take my shake, do my personal development, and I'll hit the gym probably around 9 a.m. every single day. So I got it into my head that if I start going to the gym around this time at the same time every day, people's going to start to see me every single day around this time, right? And then I was building relationships, you know, saying hi to people, you know, every time I went to the gym and things like that. And I would always tell Val and Lawrence remembers this, like I would end my day at before 3 p.m. because I want to get home before traffic. Seriously, that's a big deal, you know, especially out here like you're talking about. 405 is a big deal. And this was the time I was driving from Inglewood all the way to Sherman Oaks 24-hour fitness. You know, when I barely had gas in the car, I was making sacrifice to go into different parts of the town to make things happen. So people will know who I was and what I represented. And that was my goal. So I did that every single day, pretty much 6-7 days a week. And I remember on Sundays, Sundays would be really my main follow-up day because most people are relaxing on Sundays. You can call them a lot. We have Fit Club in the morning. And then when I got home, I might have gone to Third Street Promenade to, you know, make some contacts and then go home, and I'll be in the house for the rest of the day on Sunday, you know, following up with people. And then when I got home during the week after 3 p.m., that was my follow-up time too. And I just remember one night I walked past my mom's room and she was, you know, crying. I was like, Mom, what's wrong? She's like, I'm just tired of working. It's getting on my nerves. And I just remember going there in my room and sitting at the desk and pulling out my notebook. And I was like, all right, I'm going to follow up with all these people. And I got like five new clients within, you know, a 3-hour time frame. And I was sitting at the desk, you know, and I knew my goal. Like, there was no stopping me from taking care of my mom. Like, I had to sacrifice everything. Like I stopped watching TV for 2 years to the point where my DVD was dusted closed. I mean, all the dust was on the DVD to the point where it wouldn't open, press eject and right? So that's how I knew, like, I was in the zone. Like, I wouldn't even watch TV, no news, no nothing. Like, I just found myself living and breathing personal development, living and breathing Herbalife, like you were saying earlier. It's like, you got to sacrifice a lot of things to get what you want in life, period. Especially, you know, in Herbalife, you can have the things that you want and that you've ever dreamed of and any type of goals you ever wanted in your life. You can get it now, but you got to sacrifice certain things to get there. You know, Val was sleeping in his car, like, to go to Fit Club in the morning, and look where he is now. It's like, it just makes sense that you have to sacrifice a lot of things to get what you want in life. And for 2 years, and to this day, I still have a daily routine. I still wake up at a certain time. But that 2 years of grinding hard, it was the same time every week. Like, I would try to get home before 3 p.m., you know, log in my numbers, follow up with people, send out texts, you know, for the next event, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. That was the main event. So, you know, the whole purpose of this training is to work your schedule. So you know when to, you know, have your calls, your follow-ups, your funnels to get people to the events, and what day is going to be your powerful days. You know, back then for us, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday was a powerful day for us. There wasn't no local community type deal yet. It wasn't any of that yet. All we had was just active nutrition. And we took full advantage of it when we could. I remember sometimes, you know, going to the stairs and bringing like 4 to 5 people back with me from the stairs. Sometimes I would go, you know, bring somebody to the stairs. I had $20 in my pocket, and I would give them cookies and cream shake because that's what I had in the trunk, right? $100 quick start. It was like $110 after tax, right? Cookies and cream, oh, I want to start now. You're lucky, I got it in the trunk. Let's get you going, right? And then I would go back to the stairs and work out some more and meet somebody else and bring, you know, because I knew the goal. Like, Mom, I'm going to take care of you no matter what. To your kids, I'm going to take care of you no matter what. Like, this is the opportunity to take care of whoever you want to in your life, period. But you got to make a sacrifice to do it. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Get up,
So I just thank you again for that, because I remember, like, and if you guys are here, some of you guys are here because of Ryan Holyfield. You probably met him between the times he's talking about. Just saying, you know, probably met him at the gym in the morning, late morning, or something like that. Or I mean, he does invites anywhere he's at anyway, so that doesn't even matter what I said. Anyways, cool. So, the key here is we are working today to establish a routine. So, what is your routine? Me, it wasn't. You know, for him, Brian was full time, so he's full time. Like so, Monday through Sunday, he had a routine. Like you knew what he was doing every Saturday at 10 a.m. You knew what he was doing every Friday at noon, every single time. Okay, and for me, I was part-time in that I had another obligation, but still, you knew what I was doing. Thursday at 2 p.m., you knew I'd be at the nutrition club, like without fail. Does that make sense? So you got to have that for yourself. You got to have no matter what, this is where I'm going to be, and this is what I'm going to be doing at this time. And so with that, there's 3 types of activities that I found that in the majority, like you're pretty much doing in Herbalife. You're, and you can write this down if you want. Number 1 is invitation, right? You're either it can look like sitting down with on your computer and talking to some people. A lot of you guys are on Instagram or not, right? For me, I love face-to-face. I haven't really been like that huge on Facebook or Instagram. I'm just out and about and I'm meeting people. So it could look like that. It could look like you being at a booth or at any type of event. Every time there's a fitness expo, Brian usually does invites. I've been there twice to the expo. So that's great. But any of that's invitation activities. You guys agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Number 2 is appointments. Now, what do I mean by appointments? It's usually when you're sitting down with somebody, right? It could be at a coffee shop. It could be here at the nutrition club when you're sitting with somebody one-on-one. That could be after Fit Club, right? But it's an appointment. Does that make sense? Yeah. So usually in an appointment, you're connecting with somebody, and you're doing a wellness profile, or you just talk to somebody about the business and how it works, and then teaching them, okay, this is what we do. But you usually sit down. So how many of you guys have ever sat down with somebody regarding Herbalife, whether it be we're getting on a plan, or so you guys know what I'm talking about, setting appointments. And then the third thing is follow-up. So you're either following up with the contacts that you're getting, the people that you're meeting, right? And you're following up maybe with your clients. You're following up with your team members. You're following up, period. So I figured, like, I found out that in the business, it's pretty much your activity when it comes to generating new, is usually boils down to one of those 3 things. And then obviously you've got like when you do like, I don't know, a Facebook post or something like that. But that doesn't necessarily generate income, if that makes sense. Right? I'm talking about generating business. Those are the 3 things that you're usually doing. You guys agree?
Yeah.
So now you need to look at that. And first off, I want to take just a minute right now. It is, okay, 10 o'clock. Cool. Good time. So I want you to write these things down. And this is going to be your homework. We're going to have accountability groups for this week moving forward. And what I want you to do is share this with your accountability groups. Each accountability group, we're going to talk more about that in detail a little after this. So I want you guys to write these questions down, okay? So you need to write down the days that you work. Okay, within those days, so write down days that I work. So for me back then, I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And then I worked some Sundays. So that was
You mean work a non-Herbalife?
Yes, so any non-Herbalife obligation. So it might even be if you got kids, you're spending this time with your kids. So days that I have obligations, that's what I said. Then if your schedule changes every week, I feel like it depends on the job, right? But I feel like typically, let's say if you're a restaurant job, you probably have a night schedule, but it does change every week, right? Then that means that you know that pretty much for the most part, your days are pretty open. Is that true? Yeah. Or if your schedule varies, it's a day shift. So you know that pretty much in general, your evenings are free. Does that make sense? Now, other than that, I only know about a nurse with a rotating shift. I used to have those too. And those are like, they could be 9-day, all kinds of stuff. But for other businesses, I know that usually it's either a night shift that varies or a day shift that varies. Okay? So write down the days that I work, and then write down the days that I have other obligations. And obligation would be family obligation.
Yes.
Like that. Question.
School, university, would it be the same?
Yes, obligation would be school. Exactly. Thank you for that. Any other obligation. So now you know what days you absolutely, you got to handle business outside of Herbalife. Okay? So now that you know that, you got to map that out. So eventually in your, like you can write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you literally map out times where you're doing that. So that's what I did, okay? So now once you know the days that you're busy and the times you're busy, you know the times you're not busy. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
So those times that you're not busy, that's what we're looking for. So everybody, like, just write down, hey, okay, times that I am not busy. So it's your job to do the homework and you write that out. So what I love to do is I like to have it out. Maybe what I'll do is I'll draw something, I'll take a photo and I'll post it on Diamond Mechanics so you can see what I'm talking about. I think I did this for Kelsey one time. But it's like, okay, you have lines. So you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's like columns, right? So in that columns, maybe on this end of it, if you have line paper, right? Each of them, maybe it's like every line is an hour. So 8, 10, 12, blah, 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 whatever. So you shade the parts where you have an obligation or you have work. Does that make sense to you guys? So
Yeah.
you like fill it in. So those spots that are open, that's your Herbalife time. It's time to get it, right? That's your Herbalife time. Time that's like open. So now that you know what you're working with, if your schedule changes, it changes. That's another conversation. We can definitely have that. But now you know what you're working with. So now that you know what you're working with, you need to now put in invitation, appointments, follow-up. This is what I recommend. Whatever time you believe that you're most likely to get people to meet with you, is my recommendation for a time that you put. So for me, I did a really good job. For some reason, I could get a lot of people to meet with me between the hours of noon and 5 on a Thursday and on a Friday. But then I also extended my schedule on Fridays because I knew a lot of people got off work past 5. So I would be at the nutrition club until 8. And then there was something called Healthy Happy Hour back then on Fridays. You remember that? Some days they have a live band. It was live in there. Yeah. So I'd be in there until, right? So I keep my schedule open. So before the week, I knew that. That's my not busy times, right? So I knew that that's my appointment time. That's the time allotted for my appointment. So I do, every single week, I do nothing else but schedule appointments. And if I have that part open, then I'll still be, if I have that part open and it's not filled by Thursday or Friday, what do you think I'll do? Not watch a movie, not watch TV. What do you think I'll do? I'll go out and do more invitations. I'll do more follow-up. You guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my time is always used to get me forward to the future that I want to create for myself. Yeah.
So kind of similar to what Val said as far as like the time. So what I used to do is I would map out Monday to Sunday. So work, whatever, just random things I would do, and I would time block it, right? And then the open times were windows of opportunity, okay? And that's literally, I would write like windows of opportunity, Monday 4 to 8. Windows of opportunity, Tuesday 9 to 12. And Wednesday nothing, Thursday no time, busy, and then just map that out, okay? And very similar to him, invitations, appointments, follow-ups. Another thing that I did when I first started though was I actually mapped out what I did for like the last 2-3 weeks. Like literally, okay, I went out Tuesday night, I had dinner. Wednesday night, I did this, I hung out with this person. And I would like map out like my history, my social history. And I realized like I was actually spending a lot of time sleeping or having dinner with friends. It's not bad stuff. Okay? It's okay to have fun, but stuff I was choosing over building my business, right? Cool. So who here feels like in the last few weeks they've probably chosen to do some things over building their business? And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. No one's wrong for living life and having a social life. And it's, essentially it's important if you want to build authentic relationships, okay? But you have to be strategic with everything you do. Meaning, if you're going out for dinner with someone, maybe invite some people we work with, just whatever. Like, just make sure everything you're doing is in alignment with your goals. And if it isn't, guys, probably isn't the time to be doing that right now. You know? And for me, it was a lot of letting go of relationships, letting go of people, letting go of things I enjoy doing. Waking up earlier, doing my personal development in the morning to keep it consistent. Little things like that. And then you'll notice, though, over time, though, first of all, you're going to realize you have a lot more time than you ever thought you did. Okay, so that time excuses just doesn't matter. I mean, I used to complain about time, and I realized this is 2 kids. You know, like a lot of people are single parents. Like they what? You know, I'm only responsible for myself, and so that was nothing. And then there was a couple strategies that I came up with that worked for me. So do you guys mind if I share that with you guys?
Yes.
Okay. So the first one was to spread your reach. Okay. So spread your reach. What that means is really, if you consider yourself a brand, right? For example, like let's say Mike Incorporated, like you're a brand. The way the more impact, the more of a reach you have, the more people are going to know about you, what you do, you know, see what you do, how, you know, what matters to you. They're going to understand you, and they then get to know, am I excited about working with Mike? Am I not? But it all starts with your reach, okay? So there's a few people that, for example, Brian used to go to the stairs day after day. He would be at the gym, very structured. For me, though, what worked for me was I would actually switch it up. So if I went to, and I know he does that too, I'm not saying you only do one thing, but like if I went to, let's say, Gold's Arcadia last year, right, I would go to Gold's Arcadia Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. But Tuesday, Thursdays, I would go to a different gym at the same time, okay? So you guys know after you go to a certain gym, you start seeing the same people, you're kind of like those like your gym buddies, and it's great because you can develop an authentic relationship, but it's the same pool, okay? So if, let's say, Monday I would go to Gold's Arcadia at 7 to 9 p.m. The next week, though, I would go to the UFC gym at 7 to 9 p.m. And I would just flip my schedule, you know what I'm saying? And then now I'm seeing different people. Another thing that I really grew to enjoy, I like being by myself when I'm in the gym, but I grew to start working out with people. And when that happens, obviously having a team helps because you can, you know, tell, show, try, do. All that stuff is great. You can mentor. But on top of that, though, is you can now go to their gym, you know, and now that's a completely new audience, and now again your reach is expanding. Does that make sense? Yeah. So for those of us that are kind of have a structure that's good, but feel free to switch it up from time to time. You know, switch it up with intention. Don't just do random things. I mean, random things might work too, but get in the habit that your structure, that you understand your structure so much that you can actually flip it and now create a new structure, but you're still, you know, with the same goals. And you're actually going to realize like your invite's going to go up. You're going to meet a lot of new people. Blah, 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 blah. Does that help?
Yes.
So that's the first thing. Second thing was just to get uncomfortable, okay? So in the business especially too, like I hate public speaking. I don't enjoy it. Like it makes me nervous. Like I hate it. I don't want to train products. I don't want to do anything. Val pushed me on stage at LDW to make me share my story.
I'm sorry, that was funny. Yo, this dude's the shyest dude ever, right? So I know a lot of you guys have experienced me pushing you to say something or share your story. So I did that to Lawrence. I think I was at STS. And I was like, dude, get up there. He was like, no. I was like, dude, get up there. I was like, no. I was like, you go with me. He's like, wait, we want to sleep. I was like, you come with me. So I shared it, you know, people, and then he goes, all right, Lawrence. Dude, I remember that like that was yesterday, man. Oh, man. Y'all got to do that for your people, by the way. Like, you know, pull them in.
My point is, though, if he hadn't done that, I never would have gone by myself, right? And so whatever it is that you feel like you need help with, guys, like that's what this is for. If you don't feel like you understand the products really well, right? Like get with someone that understands the products. If you feel like you don't understand the marketing plan, like everyone here, if you want to take this as far as it can go, you have to master everything, okay? And trust me, you want to do that now, sooner than later, because you don't want to have people that are excited to grow and have this team and not know how to help them, okay? So that's something I learned right off the bat was make sure you become a master at everything, training, big club, whatever it is, you have to experience it, get uncomfortable, so when your people come, there's nothing that you can't teach them. They ask you a question, you can answer it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that actually can become a part of your structure, part of your schedule is learning, growing, training here, whatever it is. Make your time valuable so that you yourself as a brand, you're growing, your knowledge is growing, your confidence is growing, and that all speeds up the process. Well, your business only grows as far as you grow.
So, thank you. And just to add to that point, okay, so the key here, guys, is time blocking. That's what this is. You got to block your time. And you guys this is probably not the first time you're hearing this. Herbalife is not the first time you're hearing schedule your time, manage your time. Probably seen that in school or any type of organizational class or something like that, right? But that is the key to success. Millionaires with really big businesses, they have busy schedules, but they have very structured lives. And their schedule is their life. That makes sense. Yeah. They're really good on their time. So that's what we gotta be if we want to get to where we want. There's so many things to cover, right? But it's only gonna happen. We only get to touch everything if we plan ahead, right? And put it in during the week and accomplish it and follow that schedule. So that's the goal here. So as you ask yourself, okay, what are my obligations, right? What time and days are my obligations? Then you know what time you're not busy. So those windows of opportunity. Then now you got to put in those activities. So in the beginning, what I do is I did a lot of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for me were just, I didn't do anything honestly, but invitations and follow-up just because I was always moving. Does that make sense? I was always moving. So I couldn't sit down with anybody. Or I couldn't really be on the phone because there's a patient right in front of me. But, sometimes I go, you know what I'm saying? Put it away. Hit him with the text. You know what I mean? But I did that, and I would always have 2 EMTs driving the vehicle, and I'll be in the back. And I'm always talking to them. I'd have, y'all know on Robertson and National, there's like a car rental thing. Over there. Do you know the Valero over there?
Yeah.
Okay, some of y'all know the Valero. But there's a car, Beverly car or something. Dude, it was like 12:30 a.m. one time, and these guys had just dropped off a patient. I was like, hey, come through. They went over there with an empty ambulance truck, right? With just a bed in there. And I drove my car over there with 250 plans, right? And I hopped in the back. And in the back rig at 12:30 a.m., I'm like, okay, guys, this is the plan. This is what y'all got to do. This is what y'all got to do. It's 12:30 a.m. I felt like you know what I'm talking about. but look, the coolest part is this. When I had $500 in cash in my hand at 12:30 a.m., I put it in my pocket. I was like, this is the coolest opportunity ever. How cool is that? Y'all see what I'm saying? Yeah. So now I was just so eager. You gotta keep being eager, right? But anyways, just let's get to it because we've got 15 minutes. So time blocking is this. So what is your DMO? As long as you know I gotta do these 3 activities, it's up to you to plan it. And I want you to know that it's not gonna be perfect, but you gotta plan something, you gotta start. Right? So your homework is you're gonna be sharing this with your groups. Okay, within these windows of opportunity, use your mind, right? Be educated with what you're saying. If you know that on a Saturday and a Sunday, you're more likely to get a lot of people who are home, then maybe on Saturday evenings, that's like you spend 2 hours and that's your block of time where you know you're going to schedule wellness profiles on the phone if they're not around you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you know that you stick to that no matter what. Like your job is to fill that during the week and that's your time. So that's your job to do that. So you're going to share with your groups, okay, this is my invitation time. Like this is my schedule. This is what this looks like. I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to create mine and I'm going to put it on the page so that you guys see it. But I am a full-timer, right? So a lot of you guys have jobs. So it's important that you guys do what you got to do. And what I also do is I'll also give you guys what my part-time schedule looks like too, so y'all know. All right, so you guys got to do that, share that with your groups. So that's time blocking, okay? And as you continue to go with it, the most important part is to stick to your schedule. And once you start sticking to your schedule, you realize how actually simple this is to grow something. All it takes is consistency and routine. Once you develop that, things start to happen. It's just like working out. How many of you guys got the best results because you're working out pretty much the same time every day? It works the same exact way. So if you know you're doing almost the same thing every day or almost the same thing every week, where you know it's predictable, you'll get the most success if you do it over time. So that's what matters. And you get better at adjusting. Okay, maybe invites will work better this time. I'm going to try that. But that's the goal. Y'all got to time block your time. Okay? Also, who you hang around is important. I just wanted to put that in there. I knew I couldn't hang around people who were chilling. I knew I couldn't hang around people who were not doing nothing much, because that would affect me. So I only hung around Brian Holyfield, Style Bell. I only hung around these people, and we would do invites all the time because I wanted their energy to feed off of me. I knew that I couldn't do it on my own for that much long. Like, that's the same amount of energy. So what did I do? I was like, Brian, where you going? Bar club? We going to bar club on Sundays. Where we at the Santa Monica bars and rings. That's where we going. I need that energy to keep me going. So make sure you're hanging around people that really, really think like that, because it'll start to rub off on you. Okay, 2 things I want to talk about. Sorry, I don't need it. Is one of those days needs to be, we already talked about this, a day where you are building your own group. Does that make sense? It's like, no matter what, as you tell your clients, talk to your clients that are local, as they become like coaches and all that stuff, you know that this day and this time, no matter what, every single week, this is us. And so that's what we call your local community. You guys got that?
Yeah.
So for you guys on Zoom, it's the same thing, right? For me, it's Monday. So I already told Devon too. Devon knows this as well. Devon was like, Monday your day? He's like, yeah, he has, Devon, I know you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. Yeah. But throughout the week, you're working. So I know that. I'm like, okay, Monday's our day. So Monday, I take a photo every week. I take a photo of all of my clients here that are local and their fans, like the people that come with them. And we all take a photo every single Monday. And my focus is every single week, I want that Monday photo to grow bigger and bigger and bigger, because I want my group photo to get bigger. Okay, so you got to do the same for yourself. First, you need to identify a day that you're going to stick to no matter what. That's your group day. That's your local community. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so throughout the week, you're grinding, you're working out, but one of those days is like, no matter what, me and my group, we're building, we're growing together, okay? And then now I just want to continue to talk about the schedule that we've adjusted. And for Zoom, okay, I want you to focus on what I just said last about Mondays or whatever day is going to be good for you to meet with your group, right? But here we have Wednesday and Saturday, but it's actually, we put it all together for a reason. How many of you guys enjoyed Saturday, this past Saturday? Okay, that was pretty fun. I love it. I can't wait till this next one, right? But this Wednesday is designed for you to bring out of your group. There's going to be some really committed ones, right? Your job is to always show people at one level the next level, right? So let's say, for example, my job is to help you guys grow, okay? My job, for example, is to help Donnie. She's at the active supervisor world team level. I want her in our active world team meetings. So my job is to get her to the next level. But what does that mean? I need to get her to the next thing, right? So you got a group of people, out of those people, they're committed people, right? And in that committed people, your job is they got to be committed though. Or they don't have to be, just get people excited, right? Those ones that excited, those ones that show up more than like other people, those are the people that you really hype. You hype the whole group, you promote Wednesday, right? So Wednesday they come, but they're a powerful participation of the community impact, right? They're participating in Diamond Academy, right? Then out of that, right, you got committed people who are here, and you keep building that. Saturday is a day, if you notice, it's business. Like, we're really, really training people, we're really working with people, really making sure people get as much value as they can get. So do you guys see it's like, if your group, if the local community is your cup, your job is to fill your cup, and it will overflow with committed people. And that overflow is going to pour it into Wednesday. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So as your Wednesday fills up, it starts to get committed people that come to Wednesday who show up and start sharing, like Nayeli shared up in Community Impact, for example, right? And as that cup fills, right, you pour it into Saturday, and that's your job. And those people from Saturday, obviously a lot of happy, excited people, that pours into what? The STS. That's you guys' job. And I promise you, if you guys focus on that, really get strategic with this, guys. That's what I've done to get to Millionaire Team. I didn't do anything crazy. I can't tell you, yes, I worked hard, but you guys are working hard, okay? But you gotta work smart and hard. I also work very smart. And I think I know for sure that's why I got to Mill Team in a year and 10 months. So you gotta work very smart, promote these events to people. Okay, so that's why we create this, so you get the biggest impact to the people that are committed. Because it's all about, in that group, you wanna find the committed people. Wow, show them what's bigger. Find more committed people. Wow, show them what's bigger. So Wednesday, Saturday. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, for you guys on Zoom, you guys have STSs. Most likely, you probably have something big going on in that area. Some people, in some cities, there are local, citywide HOMs going on as well. But you have to do your own research. You got to take responsibility of your own business. You got to go on My Herbalife, and you got to look for it. Okay, once you look for it, you find it, you know that as you build your group, the committed ones, all right, man, we going to STS together. You got to watch that STS grow, that STS number grow. Watch your local group grow and watch the committed ones grow. That's the key, guys, to this business. You guys got it?
Yeah.
Cool. So I just want to talk about that. And okay, cool. This is good. So we got a little bit of just some messaging we want to talk about. First off, how many of you guys have gotten your LDW ticket? Yeah, awesome. So I'll tell you this: a big part of this, I'm telling you guys, is you gotta come to these events. There's a reason why we create them. And if you're not coming to LDW, that means most likely your team's not coming. If your team's not coming to events and you got team, man, I just want everybody to really get to where they want to get to. You guys see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys on Zoom, get your LDW tickets. There's a reason why we create these events. Okay? Like I have all of my clients in here, they have their tickets. So guys, get on it. Let's get on it. Let's be who we say we want to be. All right? I can't do it for you. I wish I could. All right, so that's LDW. And then, yeah, so we're going to introduce, last week, we wanted to roll things out and just create something first, like put something out there. We want to see what you guys are doing. And that was kind of, let's call that the warm-up. That was a warm-up last week. Okay, now this week though, we're putting in accountability. Okay, so we have our accountability pods. I'm super excited. They're going to be about what, groups of 5 or 6? 4, 5, 6, depending on who you're with. And I just want you guys to know these people, like we randomly put people together. So what does this mean? I don't know. There's no planning behind anything. We randomly put people together, and I want it's going to be awesome because you guys will form bonds with one another that will serve you as you continue in this journey. Okay. So, but what I'm excited about is each of these will be led and facilitated, I would say, by an active world team member or a tag team member. And their job is not necessarily to tell you what to do. It's not to tell you what to do, but to really be the catalyst in the group, if that makes sense. To really be someone who's like, all right, let's go. But it's our job to be that anyway. But see, the reason why they're an active world team and tag team is because ain't nobody got to tell them to do it. They just do it themselves, right? So now all of us are going to paint that. All of us are going to become that. And so what's cool is I'm going to have a group of 5. I don't know who's actually looked at it, but I'll see it again. All of us, we're going to have people in these pods, and I'm going to be excited. I'm being in the trenches with you guys. I'm being in the trenches with my pod. Okay, we're all doing invites. We're all talking to people. The pin doesn't matter. It doesn't matter on your team. I'm just one guy with you guys, okay? So you guys excited about the accountability? Yeah! And I think I have like 1 or 2 people, or maybe 3 on Zoom as well. So it doesn't matter if you're local. This is everything, and that's why the page is going to connect us so much. So we were going to read it off, but what I'm going to do is we're going to put it on the page tonight. We already made it already, so it's ready to go. I'm going to put on the page. I did put on the guidelines, but for some reason, it's like it didn't read, so I'm going to figure that out and repost it tonight. Make sure we got all that. But are you guys clear on the homework?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. So here's the homework, okay? The homework, what are the questions that I asked you?
What days do I have obligations?
And
So
what
you
am
guys
I?
got your homework is to figure out your schedule depending with the questions that I ask you. So what days and times do I have obligations? So work, school, right? What days do I not?
Put in the activity.
And then you write out put in the activities. And then that's your plan of execution. And your job is to follow that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So everybody in the pod is going to know one another's schedule. And you'll see the guidelines. One of the guidelines is we got to talk every day on the pod. There's daily communication. All right, so I need everybody to show up powerfully to this.
Good job. Find that out.
Well, everybody's on the page. So what I'm going to do is
Just add them as a friend.
add them as a friend. As you see it, you know who's on the page, you'll be able to search it. And then I'll leave it up to you guys to do that, make that happen. We're going to be doing it for the week.
That's just the assignment for this week. So
That's the assignment for this weekend. Right. And so your job, though, is to continue. And I want you guys to track every single day. What are you guys' scores? 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 3 out of 5. Because we're going to be going into that. You're going to be reporting this to your accountability groups. But our job here is not to tell you that you missed 2 points. Because quite frankly, that doesn't help anybody. Okay? I'm not going to tell you, you messed up, Netta. You missed 2 points. That doesn't help anybody. But what I'm going to do is, Melissa, okay, we got 4 out of 5. What do you think's missing? Like, what do we got to do? Okay, where do you think you have the challenge? Okay, then we figure out something so that we can overcome that challenge. Because that's how I've grown. That's how he's grown. Is you figure out what you need to overcome, and then you work to overcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's the style that we're doing it. And then, of course, we're going to be continuing those points. You got to keep posting it. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. What do we have? 2 minutes? This is awesome. So first off, how you guys feeling? Did you guys get some nuggets today?
Yes.
Okay, so in ending, this is what I really love here. Huh? Yeah, just post it. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do right now is we've started with this, we're gonna end with this. Everybody say Yay! All right, cool. And then I want to say, guys, thank you for your attention. For real, let's keep going. Like, this is our season. I'm telling y'all, everybody that you bring in this time around here, you guys are going to have some good people. And I'm here for all of you guys. All of us tab team, we're here for all of you guys. So let's have an amazing, powerful week. Yeah. You got it. All right, gang.
Oh, that hurt. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Wow.
It's crazy loud. Hi, guys. It's super loud. Yeah, it's hurting my ears, so bye. Wow, this is so loud.
Yay.
What's up?
What up, Mike?
Mike now.
What up, Don?
What up? How you doing? Good night, guys.
Good night.
All right. Let's get this.
I told y'all, man, this Diamond Academy is on another level.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I feel
A whole nother level.
Keyshawn in the building.
Hey, Val.
Wait, who said hi?
we on.
Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
We on today. Thanks for posting that link, Val.
Yeah, of course,
Word.
man. Of course. I appreciate you guys. I got everybody on
Happy
the
belated birthday.
Be awesome. Nettie, what'd you say?
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, hey, I would have gone all the way out to where you at, Marietta or something?
Yeah.
Man, yo, it's so hot out there right now. It's crazy. That mug's crazy. Hey, did you guys get some like synopsis today? You guys
What?
have any questions?
I have a question.
Is that Christina?
Yeah.
What's up, Christina?
Hey, the pod list on Facebook, it's not
Yeah.
pulling up.
Lauren, we literally worked on it like a few hours back, so it's ready. It should be on Facebook. If it's not, I'm gonna make sure we post it tonight. But it's ready to go.
Cool.
Okay,
That
so
was
we'll
my only
know
question.
our accountability partners and stuff.
Yeah, and in the list, all you're gonna see is names. So it's you guys' job to make sure that you connect with your accountability partners and figure out how you guys want to connect. If it's Zoom, I prefer that. If it's phone call, let it be phone call, whatever. It's whatever you guys decide as a group. It will be facilitated by the active world team or tag team member that you guys are with.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool. That's perfect.
We'll check. So should we check tomorrow?
Huh?
So we should just check on it tomorrow.
Then we done.
It should be a notification when it pops up, right?
He told me he posted it, so see if it's on the Facebook.
I did. It's not posted yet.
It's not there yet, but you should get a notification when it comes up if they post it in the
Okay.
group.
Yeah, it's not there yet.
Okay.
You'll be on later. Hey, send out that story so we can get those nuggets.
Yeah.
All right.
I wrote the whole thing down.
I'm gonna pray for you.